Hi babes and welcome to this brand new episode of the Final FronTia. Now I have just spent 3 hours behind a mirror getting ready, which kind of makes me the unknown from the Glasgow Willy Wonka experience of the podcast world. This week I am super excited by our guest, a fabulously talented actor skilled on stage and screen, and they have actually been in the TARDIS. It's Pearl Mackie.
So casual.
Yeah. No.
It's really casual. This is it's super casual.
Yeah, it's really casual.
It's casual. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
No, I'm obviously from the standpoint of a Doctor Who fan.
No.
I don't know if you know this.
Is that a
I've
thing?
never mentioned it before.
No, you've never actually told me that in person many times.
I've never several many times told you that in person.
Every time.
Have I ever mentioned I like Doctor Who? No, not once.
No, I didn't know that about you. It doesn't, It's not on your Instagram or anything either. Like, you keep it quite close to your chest.
It's like, it's a secret that no one knows. I haven't mentioned it every episode of this. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever said it.
Oh my God. It's quite a big deal.
It is. But I feel like we should put that to one side for a second.
Okay.
Because I want to know about you and your loves on stage, television, film, like growing up. And what really got you into acting? That's a big question.
That is a big question, like straight out the gate, isn't it?
I could have asked you how you were.
I'm good.
Good.
That is quite a big question. I used to watch a lot of old like musicals with my mum, like a lot of old 1940s musicals when she was doing my hair on a Sunday. And again, something that I've probably said many times, but I'm a massive Judy Garland fan.
Oh.
I don't know if you knew this about me.
Love.
It's true. I remember watching a lot of her films, particularly Meet Me in St. Louis is one of my favourites.
A classic.
It really is, right? And I mean, her singing the trolley song, I remember I don't really remember this, I think I was 5, but like looked over to my mum and I was like, I want to do that. And she was like, oh no. Oh no. Oh, we've got a long old slog ahead of us. Not in it, she's very supportive. We love her. But my granddad was a screenwriter, and obviously, so my mum had spent a lot of time around actors, and not that actors aren't wonderful, but just like, I think she was like, was very aware of the sort of trials and tribulations and difficulties that being an actor might present, and does present. So I think when I said that, she was like, okay, but maybe just you can do that after school.
I do love the fact that your mum told you to sort of like focus on getting the academics together, because I had a very similar experience.
Really?
Yeah. So I wanted to be Davina McCall when I was growing up.
Love it.
I was like,
love Davina McCall.
Me too. I was like, I'm going to present Big Brother. That's like my one aim in life.
This is going to happen.
Right? And then my mum was like, no, you're going to do Latin for GCSE. And I was like, work, I guess.
Okay. I love that. I did Latin for like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah. And then I was like, this is really, really long. And like, it was an after school Latin class as well. And I remember being like...
Extracurricular Latin.
Extracurricular Latin. I was a bit like, this is kind of rude actually. Like, Wednesday's the one day that we all used to finish early, used to finish at 2:15. And I was thinking about that the other day, like school hours. I used to finish at 2:15. Can you imagine finishing a work day at 2:15?
I barely start a work day
at 2:15.
Do you know what I mean?
But the amount of time, my goddaughter is sometimes like, she's like, oh yeah, school is 3:30, and it's like you finish at 3:30.
Yeah,
that is mid-afternoon. Like, chill.
You've got a full day ahead of you.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, calm down. Like, you have so many hours to do what you want to do.
And you spent those hours doing extracurricular Latin.
Well, like I said, for 2 weeks, and then I was like, no, I need to go home.
Were you quite sort of like focused on schoolwork, like a bit geeky about the academics at school?
No. I was like one of those annoying people that was quite good at stuff without having to make too much effort.
Fierce.
Yeah, which is, people didn't love that about me. But yeah, I mean, I I didn't find school that hard.
No, same.
Yeah?
I feel that because I think that's what pushes you in the direction of doing the other things. Because you're like, I can get away with this. Yeah.
It's like that. That's difficult. Like, yeah, long division. I mean, get me to try and do long division now. I'll be like, I don't even know. I can barely write my own name these days.
Well, that's challenge number 1. Let's get the long division ready.
Let's do it.
No, but it's true because I kind of like didn't feel like I had to do my homework. This is such a humble brag. We're smart. But like...
no, poor us. We're really smart.
I know, boo-hoo. But like, I wanted to do choir and like all the plays and like everything that I could after school. Like,
because that felt like a challenge, and it felt like I feel the same. Like it sort of that felt like I was like, this is actually doing something, and like physically was challenging and like exciting as well, because it wasn't like I was just like, that I can do that really easily, and it didn't make me feel anything.
Which is interesting because the character of Bill Potts also pursues academia.
Yes.
That's my one reference for now.
So, I was like, one reference, really?
Oh, it'll come in every single time. Don't worry about it. So did you do a lot of like the school plays? Were there musicals?
Yes, I did do a lot of the school plays. We didn't do musicals in school. Mm-hmm. Did a lot of musicals at uni. I was in the choir at school.
Right.
So I did a lot of that. And did loads of plays until I was about 15, and then was like, it's actually not really cool. So dropped out of the choir and like didn't do any plays that year, and then went to see one. And I was really like, I should have auditioned for that. I'm an idiot.
You realised in that moment that you should focus on what you love, not what other people tell you.
Yeah, true.
Life lessons.
I mean, right?
Yeah, very much.
But yeah, did loads of musicals at uni.
Which uni was?
I went to Bristol Uni.
Fun fact, I wanted to go to Bristol and I missed my grades.
To be fair, you didn't miss out on much. Maybe apart from the musical theatre, to be fair. Musical theatre was pretty big. One of... do you know the director of & Juliet, Luke Shepherd?
Yes.
Is a great friend of mine. He and I were at the same course, and we lived together at uni.
Really?
Yeah.
What a gifted household.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
I do feel like you have those experiences like where you end up gravitating towards like-minded people. Yeah,
I think so too. I think there's kind of a few of us sort of from like did a lot of musical theatre at Bristol that are now in the industry in sort of various parts of it, like producing, casting, which is kind of great. I mean, I don't know. It's nice that obviously you have that network, but it's also really nice to be like, actually, maybe what we were doing there wasn't just like we weren't just messing around. You know, we were all like, actually, we do really want to do this. So yeah, it was good.
That is wild because like I often think about like my time at university where I did not finish my degree because I didn't want to.
I mean, look. It's not held you back.
This is not where I thought it was going.
Do you know what I mean?
But it arrived here. But sometimes, like, you've got like that collective of people and you work really hard and you'll do like the student theatre, and that's actually one of the things that was why I wanted to go to Bristol, is because I knew they had all these like extracurricular sort of moments. Then I ended up at Nottingham, which worked out for the best for me. Thank you, clearing, for that.
Thank you, clearing.
Yeah. But like, it is in those moments where you sort of, I feel like, realise what is actually more important to you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, the stuff away from exams.
Yeah, I mean, I did a drama degree, but it was completely useless. Like, entirely useless. The things I learned at uni were all of the things I learned doing all the extracurricular stuff. Yeah. Like, that's how I got on the path of... Well, I wanted to be an actor beforehand, but, you know, that I feel like I honed a lot of skills. But yeah, I do think that was a real part of the development and kind of taught me about hard work for ages. Yeah, and I remember being like, no, it's hard, but this is really important and it's worth doing that.
Honing your craft.
Yeah.
Did you think you'd end up in musical theatre?
Do you know what? I would love to do a musical. It hasn't happened yet, but I really hope that yet is the key word in that sentence, because I would absolutely love to. I never thought that I would, I didn't do a musical theatre acting course. And not that I don't love that, but for me, I was like, I want to be an actor first, and I'd love to be an actor that does musicals. Yeah. rather than a musical. Also, I'm not a great dancer, so.
Not all musicals require choreo.
Yes, true. And I'd like to do one of those.
Okay, well, do you know what? I've heard of this person who directs a show called Anne Juliet, and maybe we should drop them a message.
Luke, give me a job.
Hi, Luke, I think
Bro,
next time a role comes up.
Hilarious. No, that would be nice. It'd be lovely to work with him, actually.
It's a great show as well.
It's a great show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good fun. I wonder what part you would... Do you know what? We'll think about that and come back to it.
Yeah, we'll think on it.
I'm ready. I'm in my Juliet era, so that's what I'm going for.
Who would you play?
Who would I actually play in Anne Juliet?
Yeah, I mean Juliet, surely.
No, like if I'm actually thinking about my capabilities and stuff, I would play
no, I mean this is not a realistic game.
Oh, I was going to
no,
say...
you were going real.
Yeah, I was going real.
Okay,
I was like either audience or box office. That's what I would play in Anne Juliet, based on my talent and skill.
Yeah, no, same.
No, not at all.
Who knows?
You're a vocalist.
She's a vocalist. Love it.
But you okay? So at some point you want to do like musical theatre.
Yeah, I'd like to do a musical. Yeah.
Do you have a dream one musical that you'd want to do?
I mean, I want to do Rent, but I think I'm too old to play Mimi now.
No.
So that would just be devastating for me. I mean, she's 19.
She is.
But she's old for her age.
She's just bought. Oh my God! What's
She's
the next
lyric?
Bad. That's the one.
I mean, come on.
I'll be Roger.
Should we do it?
Yeah, maybe I won't wear this, but I love Rent.
I think you should.
Roger could wear this.
Why not?
Roger the rock star.
Look.
We're bringing it into
Come on.
2024. So Roger's actually a Dua Lipa impersonator. That's what we could...
Here for it.
Do you know they once did a production of Rent remixed?
Yes, I didn't see that.
No, but there's a lot on YouTube and I'm fascinated.
I would have loved to. I need to Google it. I don't know why I haven't, actually. I feel like I need to do that one evening. That's going to be really fun for me.
The casting was wild. I think...
Denise Van Outen.
Denise Van Outen is Maureen.
Yes.
Who was then replaced with Kat Slater.
Stop.
Yeah.
Really?
And Mimi was played by Siobhan from the original lineup of the Sugar Babes.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious? That is a great fact. Well done for knowing that. And I'm genuinely shocked and in awe of that knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, it is shocking.
Seriously?
Yes. She's, the ginger pasty one playing Mimi Marquez.
Yeah,
bold.
Yeah, that's a really interesting casting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's before diversity was really a thing, wasn't it?
I mean, yes, it was before it was a thing anyone actually considered or cared about.
Yes, well, that's what I meant in terms of a thing, in terms of actual casting. And before,
But she was good. I think there was one...
But she was good.
You know what, vocally she was there, but they made Out Tonight like a sort of like sexy burlesque number.
Okay, interesting.
Kind of fits the character, but also was weird. I think there was one Broadway production where Mimi was played by Mel B.
What?
Yeah, there are clips
on
YouTube.
My whole brain is just imploded. Like, I feel like 10-year-old me and like 21-year-old me are like battling for some kind of joy in my head right now. Like, I can't make any sense of it, but I want it to be the best thing ever. But also, what was it like? Please tell me.
Well, I think Out Tonight was down 2 semitones. Which,
Dude.
fair play. Like... If you've got that kind of like draw that Scary Spice has, I'd be like, you put this song in my key.
Yeah, it's like, you cast me for a reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So make it good.
Yeah.
Which is like fair, like put it in your range, why not? But there are clips. She's kind of giving like some choreo. She gets on the table to crawl to Roger.
Right.
What's the one after Out Tonight?
La Vie Boheme.
No, the one, not with the Heart Made Free.
Yeah.
That one. No Day But Today. That's the one.
That's the one.
So she gives it like a little crawl on the table.
Okay.
No, that's not the one. We're just talking about Red. I'm so sorry.
Why are we sorry? Red is great.
I know you.
A candle, light my candle. Yeah.
I'd love to be Roger. I know I don't look like it right now, but that's like...
Look, you're blonde.
True.
Yeah.
He
was blonde.
Yeah. I want to be Roger, but I know I'm a Mark. You know?
I feel like you are a Mark.
I can pull off a sweater vest.
Oh, I feel like you really could. This is great. Look, we're casting it already.
We are. Okay.
This is brilliant.
We'll find the rest of the cast.
Yeah, I'll just be really old Mimi and it'll be fine.
Not really old Mimi. You have a youth, a joie de vivre that Mimi Marquez possesses. Let's return to talk about you, because did just monologue about Scary Spies in Rent for quite a while.
I feel like that kind of is about me. Like
in many ways.
That's a very important part of my knowledge now.
Is you coded?
Yeah,
information.
For real. Like, that's 10-year-old me, that's 21-year-old me. Like, we're here for that.
But speaking of 10 and 21-year-old you, see, that was a segue.
Liked it.
What, sort of shows did you watch growing up? Because I can't lie to you, I've noticed the Buffy t-shirt must be discussed.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, Buffy was one of my favorite shows. Still is, actually.
Yeah.
Because she's basically the greatest.
True. I would agree with that statement.
I think 100%. I realized the other day that I was not following Sarah Michelle Gellar on Instagram, which was remiss of me. Genuinely, I went downstairs to my fiance and I was like, babe, I've just realized that I'm not following Sarah Michelle Gellar on Instagram. And she was like, neither am I. And we both had a moment and we were like, what have we been doing with our lives?
You failed Sarah.
Yeah, totally. But I am following her now.
Okay, good.
Which she'll be pleased to know.
Well, she listens to the podcast. So.
I think she does.
Yeah, I believe she does.
But yeah, no, Buffy was a strong part of the existence.
Iconically feminist.
BBC 2, 6:45 on a Wednesday. That was my jam. I didn't have Sky. But that was when, yeah.
It did. The one thing, I don't know if you've experienced this, but the thing that blew my mind is rewatching episodes of Buffy, but they're not on BBC 2 at 6 p.m, so they haven't edited stuff out. There's so much that you missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's quite raunchy.
Yeah, raunchy, a little bit gorier than you expected. Naughty words
Terrible
sometimes.
Special effects as well.
Yeah.
When you watch it now, it's you're
questionable.
I wonder if that character's going to turn into a vampire because it's really blurry on their face for a minute before they do. Yes, I've rewatched a lot of Buffy recently. But yeah, it's still great, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's still great.
Do you have any characters in it that you sort of look at and you're like, okay, if there's a reboot of Buffy, that's me. I'm going for that part.
Apart from Buffy?
Full Buffy. You can say Buffy.
Buffy, 100%. Faith, though. Faith was cool.
I do think you could do a good Faith.
I could do a good Faith.
You've got the natural, because I think that's the thing about Faith is while she's a rule breaker and a bit of a badass, she's just so naturally charismatic, and I feel you have that
oh, stop.
full likability. You didn't come here for me to just sit and compliment you, but that's what's happening now. Yeah, you could be Faith.
I would literally love that. For my drama school fight test, me and my friend did a scene of Buffy and Faith, whilst we were pretend kicking the shit out of each other.
Are you serious?
I am. Yeah, I'm that cool.
Do you still remember it? Can you teach me?
Teach you the fight test?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Wait, so you you decided we're going to be Buffy and Faith, and that's what's happening?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was because you have to do a scene because they're make it believable. So we were let's do a scene from Buffy.
What was everyone else doing?
Oh, The Princess Bride and Kill Bill, actual stuff. And we were we're doing a scene from Buffy and we're going to take it really seriously.
So your love of Buffy runs deep into your
it's in my veins.
Acting
as
well.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see this reboot now. Who do we have to contact?
Oh my God, who do we have to contact? Yeah, probably not Joss Whedon these days because...
not anymore.
Problematic.
Sadly. We've
quite devastating, actually.
It is quite devastating because as I think I've discussed it before, but the sort of badness that was happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I feel we have to put that to one side when we look at how iconically empowering and feminist Buffy was.
Yeah.
And then there's just this out and out sort of misogyny and things that are happening.
Real horrible shit going on.
Yeah.
And then you're oh no. But it sort of feels really conflicting.
It does. I won't talk about Harry Potter, but I feel the same about that very much. I'm
I can see that, yeah.
It's a big part of my life growing up, and now I'm but JK,
oh, no.
You ruined it.
Yeah, she really did.
She did.
Yeah, she ruined it.
My fun fact is that I was an extra in the third Harry Potter film. Thank you. Don't applaud. Don't applaud.
Were you actually?
Yes. Hufflepuff.
Oh my God. Of course, Hufflepuff.
Yeah. Actually, if you kind of... Is this a problematic thing to say?
That is a tape that we should roll.
Wow.
I feel like we could find that.
I know where I am in the Great Hall scene, but no one else would if you were watching it because there's a lot of other students. I will say, do you know what? If we're just being open and honest about problematic things, I will say it was noticeable why I was in Hufflepuff and not Gryffindor or Slytherin. It was a little bit...
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
We just suddenly looked around and we were like, oh, all the brown ones are in Hufflepuff.
Okay.
Wild.
But
we've moved on from that. We've got so much more diversity and inclusion.
Yes, I mean, thankfully.
Yes, which we were actually talking about before, because the last time we saw each other was at Six the Musical.
It was.
And that was your first time seeing it.
It was. And I feel, again, remiss of me. But it's so great.
It really is.
Like, I legit love it. I'm like an active fan now.
Oh, I'm obsessed.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I listen to the soundtrack like way too much.
Is that a musical we can get you in? Can we? Is that one you want to do?
Yo, Jamie. I do actually know the director.
Oh, wow.
He's a very lovely man, and invited us to the show that night.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, it's so great.
Yeah,
it's so great. I feel like I want to go all over the world and just watch it again and again and again.
Okay, well, I've only seen it in 2 continents, but I'm working
Which was
on.
Best?
So, okay, the Broadway one has a very different energy.
Okay, why?
Because the American audience response to theatre is very different to the British one.
Yeah.
They're cheering in between lines, not even just at the end of numbers.
Oh, okay.
Just they say something fierce, feminist and slay, and everyone's like, woo!
Yes.
Which is lovely.
Which, great, but I mean, a long show.
Yeah.
Makes for quite a lengthy evening.
It does extend it.
But I mean, they are paying a lot of money for those tickets. So, you know.
True. I mean.
Let them make all the noise they want.
I didn't. I had a contact. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for the free ticket.
It's the same price as the flight.
Literally. It's so expensive. But it was like amazing. And I think we were saying this before, but I think 6 counts as sci-fi.
Yeah. Okay.
They are all dead.
Yes.
But on stage they're alive. So something
So technically
has
something has happened to make them be alive.
Yeah.
And that sounds like sci-fi.
They're either ghosts on stage or they have possessed the body of these young musical theatre actresses.
Which is probably what's happened.
Yeah, that's the most believable option.
I think that's the most believable. Yeah, they are being possessed by the spirit of all of the 6 wives.
Yeah, this has actually given it quite a dark and sinister turn.
I kind of like it though.
Yeah, a new take.
It's
Next
good.
time we see it.
Yeah. I feel like they need to embody it with that, at least on Halloween.
Yeah, okay.
No?
You tell your mate Jamie, the director,
I'll tell Jamie.
to put that into their minds.
But yeah, if they know, then, you know, we'll feel it.
We need to reorchestrate it with like a scary organ throughout. Like a Halloween.
Like a Halloween organ.
Yeah. This is chaotic. When we sat down and I was like, we're just having a chat. I unfortunately am taking very neurodivergent like pathways in this conversation.
I'm here for this. This is great. It feels like we're just having a chat.
Really quiet.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. That's all.
Chatting.
Isn't that just what a podcast is? Just people having conversation?
Basically, yeah.
Very much so.
I mean, this is what I was here for.
Well, I mean, I'm supposed to be here to be talking about sci-fi things. And at no point...
We talked about Buffy.
We did talk about Buffy.
Not, you know, a huge amount, but...
We can talk about it more. But do you have any other sci-fi loves that you can sort of remember seeing and thinking?
I did used to watch Star Trek when I was a kid.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. And I met Nichelle Nicholls at Comic-Con.
Are you joking?
No, for real. And like, I nearly lost my mind. And like, she was amazing. She was like everything that you would want and imagine and dream. But yeah, legit. And I was like, you might have been the first black woman I ever saw on TV.
Literally
like
that.
legit. And like hot as fuck.
That is like one of the like memories because I used to see her and be like, she looks like my mum. That's exciting for me.
Yeah.
That's
like
wild.
for real. I remember watching her and being like, this is a big deal. Like, yeah. And then, you know, when I met her, I was like, what?
What was she like?
Just really nice. Just chill.
Just very chill.
Yeah, just super chill. I mean, you know, we didn't have a big chat. She was busy. She had a lot of autographs to sign.
Good, as she should.
As she should. The queue was really long, as it should be. But yeah, no, she was just on, like, sort of walked past me and I was like, oh my God, I love you. She was like, thank you, honey. But yeah, I mean, I think I played up the interaction previously, didn't I? But yeah, no, I didn't really meet her. She sort of walked past me.
She was near you once.
Yeah, she was near me once. Yeah, but it was nice. She probably wouldn't remember, but I did.
That's iconic though.
Yeah.
As I feel like I say every time I say anything, if you don't see like yourself and diversity reflected on screen, how are you ever going to sort of like...
How will you know? How will you feel like there is space for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 100%. I genuinely, that was a massive part of my life, being like, oh, we can do this. I can do that. Like, seeing her do that, I was like, this is a big deal. Yeah, I mean, I think my mum was really good with a lot of stuff like that. Like, I was Nancy in the school play when I was 10.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a big role for me.
Is it still on the CV?
No, but it should be.
It should be.
It really should be. I'd like to do that, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I'd like to play Nancy and Oliver at some point.
No, I see it.
Not now. I mean, maybe in like 15 years.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But I feel like that. I'd like to do that. That'd be very fun. But when I was doing it, there was a black woman, Sonia Swaby, I think is her name, who was playing Nancy in the West End. So my mum took me to see that, and I lost my mind. And I was like, oh, this is actually a thing that like we can do this. And it's like it's such a big deal, but like. Yeah, it's so that, isn't it? It's like seeing yourself reflected. It just allows you to dream.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think like that is one of the things that has been consistent with sort of sci-fi and fantasy shows, because it's a possible future. It's a world that's meant to be idyllic, where there's sort of like equality and stuff. They were actually the first shows to have more diverse cast. Like Star Trek is such a great example.
Totally.
That bridge team are diverse ages, gender, race, like quite representative, especially for the time.
Yeah, you're so right, actually. I hadn't really thought about it like that, but yeah, that's totally true.
And I think that's one thing, and this is going to be the next Doctor Who moment, write it down. But that's something that you have done, is sort of playing like an LGBTQ companion, which I believe was the first confirmed companion.
Yes.
I mean, Captain Jack, were you a companion or were you just sort of in the TARDIS for a bit? Up for debate.
But yeah, it's a debate I won't enter into.
I will. No, you were the first one. So like,
sure, I'll take it.
You were. And that's like, that is incredible, because that sort of hadn't happened before. And that opened doors, even like moving forward, like Yaz was a queer POC in a subsequent season. So like, how does it feel like knowing that you were the first one to sort of do that in such an iconic and important show?
I mean, it's still something that I find quite overwhelming, honestly. Not in a, I think overwhelming can sometimes sound negative. I don't have any kind of negative connotations towards it at all. I just think it's something that I probably won't ever really be able to wrap my head around. It was such a gift, and to be able to be part of people's journeys is phenomenal. And I mean, it's just so important. You know, it's like we were saying, you know, seeing yourself reflected is such a massive, massive thing. And like, I've had people like come up to me and be like, without you, I couldn't have come out to my family.
Wow.
Which is like something that like I literally get emotional every time I even recount that story. But it's like, it's such a big deal. And I don't know, I don't even really think I can put into words how important it is to me to have been able to do that for other people, because, you know, I know what it's like, and it's massive. And I feel really lucky to be able to even be anywhere near that. So.
You did that for people. And not just that, like, again, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but Doctor Who is literally my favourite show. So, like, you as Bill was the first time I looked and went, that is a character in my favourite show that actually resembles me. Like, I can see myself reflected in that person. Have I ever shown you the pictures of me in full Bill drag? Maybe I should.
No, I don't think you have.
Okay, we need to pull up the pictures. I don't have my phone. I
actively need to see those.
Okay, Bobby, pull up the pictures.
Like for real.
But it was so important. Like, I did not to make your iconicness about me, but like
Please do.
I did a parody show called Doctor Who'sicle, thanks, which I wrote myself. And like, I was like, I will be Bill because like that's actually a part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas prior to that, I was like, oh, I couldn't, not that it's an accurate representation because my makeup is terrible and I don't want you to judge me for it. But like, I couldn't sort of like play any of those characters because I didn't feel like any of them represented me.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think that's like with like cosplay as well. I think it's like a massive thing for like young, not just all people of color being able to be like, hey, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think, yeah, it was a massive deal.
And you did that for everyone. Oh, okay. Wait, not that. Right. Scroll through the photos. Here's a photo. Oh no, that's a really bad one. I hate it. Hold on.
Oh my God, I'm so
excited. My
excited.
makeup is so bad, like at this time. So this was like very early days for like me and my drag.
I think it's going to be great.
So here's like the full cast. And you've got like the David Tennant.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's a little
Stop.
Clara.
Let me see.
Oh goodness.
Stop.
This is really embarrassing.
Oh my God, with the rainbow shirt as well.
Had to be done.
And the jacket. That's the jacket.
We did make sure it was as accurate as possible. Just please don't take offense. This was early in my drag days. So.
Amazing. I love this. I need to see more.
Okay. I will. I'll show you a few more. But that's like the importance
this is incredible.
of it.
I love that. I can't believe you haven't shown me that before.
I think I was just too embarrassed to like.
No, that's amazing. I love that.
But that was like, that's the whole like thing with like my drag journey has been like so wrapped up in like, I've done parody shows of like other sort of like sci-fi moments. I've done like a Game of Thrones parody where I was like, I just went, I'm going to play Daenerys because even though.
Just like, why not?
Yeah, Game of Thrones is actually less.
Diverse?
Yeah, I mean, all the diverse characters in it are subservient to other people, which is something that I don't love, but...
Yeah, that's not great.
No.
No, we don't love that.
And also a lot of them were in Hollyoaks. A lot of the British actors.
A lot of crossover?
Yeah, wildly.
That's interesting.
Yeah, just a fun fact, not relevant to the conversation.
Love it.
Weirdly, like 4 or 5 Hollyoaks actors had like quite big roles in Game of Thrones.
That's mad.
Yeah. Really mad.
I mean, look, props to them.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, soap to fantasy / sci-fi is a feeding ground. Doctors to Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and the less said about that, the better.
Roll the clips from Doctors, please. Thank you.
Oh my God, please don't. Genuinely, please don't. Like, that was...
We won't.
It was all filmed on one afternoon.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
We definitely won't.
No, please don't.
No, we won't. Don't worry.
Please don't. I actually haven't even watched it.
Have you not?
No.
Do you not watch back things?
Oh, no. I watch other things. I have not watched that.
Oh, okay. Specifically.
No offense to doctors. I was just me. I do not want to see that.
Fair.
Yeah, no.
But have you watched like all of your series of like Doctor Who, for example?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because mainly like, Doctors was my first official TV job, but like I said, it was all filmed in one afternoon, so it didn't even really feel like I like got to even do it, let alone learn anything from it. So for me, I always say that Doctor Who was my first TV job because, you know, by the time I'd been on set for the one day, I'd been on set for longer than I ever had in my entire career.
It's a good first job.
Yeah, but you know, so I had to watch it back because I was like, I actually don't know what I'm doing. So I was like, I need to watch this to just be like, don't do that again. Just don't make that face. Oh, what are you doing? Or just, do you know what I mean? To just sort of even see what takes they chose and like how they edited it together and like all of that stuff. And yeah, I mean, it was interesting.
That's wild though. Because like obviously like you've sort of been on stage a lot and to go into not just like your first TV job, but a TV show that is like probably, I imagine, incredibly immersive. You're on these like wild futuristic sets and interacting with things that may or may not actually be there.
I was going to
like,
say, I love that you think the sets are wildly futuristic. There was a lot of green screen and there was a lot of tennis balls on light stands.
Even that's very different.
Yeah.
At least on stage,
true.
like you're in the moment and present with that.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, totally, yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, it was completely insane. Like, I just remember being like, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is mad. I don't know what's happening here. I remember like one day, the designer, he showed me a set that they'd made for Thin Ice of Westminster Bridge.
Wow.
And like, he was like, oh, come and see it. It was when we were shooting the episode before. And I remember going in and being like, it was like the biggest thing I'd ever seen, firstly. But also it kind of, I think that was sort of the moment, because it had all been such a whirlwind kind of until, well, I mean, the whole thing was a whirlwind. But sort of until then. And I remember kind of going in there and being like, just completely floored by how it's sort of like the gravity of the whole thing kind of hit me in that moment. Yeah. Just like the scale of it and like the budget for them to have actually made like a set of Westminster Bridge. It like blew my mind, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is quite a big deal. I remember being like, I'm actually, people are going to watch this.
I mean, like, internationally.
A few people. Just a few. Yeah.
That is, like, wild. I do think, like, this sort of scale of it and the number of people who will have watched it and been touched by your sort of, like, portrayal, you being present on screen even, and sort of, like, reflecting that, is way too many to even sort of like fathom in your brain. And I remember so many bits of it being quite profound. Like there's just one line where you sort of travel to the past for the first time and you're like sort of saying to the doctor like, oh, aren't I going to stand out a little bit?
It's like, oh my God, like can I go out there? Like, is it safe? Which
is something that I'm sure most people watching it wouldn't have considered because they're all going to be fine. All the white men flying around space are fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I remember that. And I remember being like, that was Sarah Dollard wrote that episode. And I remember being like, yes, ratings for writing that in and for like understanding that experience or that part of or imagining that part of the experience, because obviously it's not real.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
What?
No, it's real. We actually did that.
Yeah, the doctor dropped you off today, no?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were just joking. Wow.
No, I was joking.
Yeah, that's good, because it's a documentary. So, are there any sci-fi characters from the past that you would love to play? Like, obviously, we've said Faith, but is there any, like, do you ever look at Star Wars and you're like, I could be Princess Leia? That would be fun.
I mean, yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun. I think I'd kind of rather be like Han Solo, though.
Fierce, no work.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I feel like vibes. I feel like that could be great.
Something with like some grand sets and some grand costumes.
I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, I'm here for it. I mean, I think the gift of being an actor, if you are, lucky enough to continue working for a long time, hopefully, touch wood, is the experiencing like as much range sort of throughout your career as possible. Like that's why I do it. And that's sort of what I'd never like to just do one thing or kind of one facet of it for forever more, because it's like, well, then it's like you might as well, sit behind a desk, or not that, I'm sure that's very varied as well. But like, I do it because I find people fascinating and all the minutiae of like the madness of the individuals I love to be able to experience that. And I feel like the more roles you play, the more people you kind of get to know sort of by inhabiting them, which sounds a bit creepy.
Well, no, it makes sense, because actually the last time I saw you on stage was in a Verbatim piece about the survivors of Grenfell, where you were playing real people.
Yeah.
So that must be like genuinely like inhabiting a person.
Yeah, that was, quite a profound experience, the whole thing. But actually, meeting Natasha and being like, I'm actually, these are actually your words. I mean, obviously the whole piece was probably the most important thing I think I maybe will ever do. But just being able to honour their words and bring them to the ears of people who may have forgotten what they went through or may not have ever known at all, was so important and was such a challenge, like doing justice to that. Yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a difficult thing to do every night, but I mean, not as difficult as what they lived through. So.
Of course. I can't imagine, because it was heavy as an audience member sort of watching that. And
thank you for coming.
No, Thank you for portraying the roles and like all of the actors in it and the way it was staged.
It's on NT Live at the moment, actually. Yeah, NT at home. So people can watch it at home.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, no, we won't say what the end bit is. So like, in case they do,
it's very like profound. It's very moving, and it sort of changed my perspective massively because it was one of those things where you sort of went while everything was happening at the time, you were like, "That's really awful.
Yeah,
we should remember that this is awful."
Yeah, and then 6 years has gone by.
Yeah,
and then you're suddenly like, "Oh my God, I thought that I would always remember this, and actually I haven't." And we should.
Absolutely, and you've got the pin badge on as well as a reminder.
Yeah,
it's important.
Yeah, this was given to me by one of the survivors, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just like, it's important to remember, right?
It is.
That's why we did it. That's why they gave us their words. So.
And now I like, as a result of seeing that, like I like follow Instagram accounts like the Grenfell Silent Walk and all of that kind of thing to make sure that I stay up to date with everything.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
that's great.
Acting changes lives.
It changes lives.
It does. It's profound. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I feel
it's been a really nice chat, actually.
It has just been a really nice chat.
Really nice.
I feel like we've just been on the phone. I feel like
I chatting.
Yeah, I should have been like hitting beats and talking about specific things, but I was just having a really nice time. It's been gorgeous. But there is one thing that we like to do.
Okay.
And at the end of each episode, I like to ask my guest to do a scene with me.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like obviously we kind of probably should do a Doctor Who scene.
Oh, all right.
But maybe with a twist. How would you feel about being the Doctor and I will be Bill?
Oh my God, that's very exciting. Shall I give you my best Peter Capaldi?
Yeah, for sure. Can you do the accent?
No. Absolutely not. And it won't be anywhere near as good as Peter Capaldi. But I'll give you my version of it.
Okay, well, we're going
I'm
for the
drama. I'm going to take my
drama.
jacket off because actually, like, I'm going to get really into this.
We need to get into character.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like you should choose. We're going episode 1.
Okay.
Is there like a Dr. Bill moment that you remember?
The scene towards the end when he lets her keep her memories.
Oh, we want to play emotion.
I
mean,
see. Yeah, look, come on.
Do you remember like doing this in the moment?
Absolutely. I totally do. Because it was like getting towards the end of the day and they were setting up and I think we filmed it in like a couple of takes.
Wow. But, I mean, it's a lot of emotion.
I remember it. Yeah, it was a lot of emotion. You ready?
Okay. No, I'm not ready at all. Okay, you're a serious professional actor and I am a clown.
I have also done this before.
Okay.
You know, I do remember this scene. So, you know, I feel like I'm kind of cheating. But I didn't play this role, so. I'm
going to go for I'm a drag queen, hilarious, over the top, unnecessary behaviour.
Okay. Well, I'll do that too. Okay. No, I'm gonna go really serious.
Serious and Scottish.
Not Scottish though, because Mackie is a Scottish name, but I cannot do a Scottish accent.
Oh, it's fine. My real surname is Bolton, and I don't have a northern accent, so. Or maybe I'll play Bill Northern for no reason.
Yeah, no, let's do that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I think you should. Okay. The vault alarm went off, but it was nothing. A student was sick outside, and it registered as a biological attack.
I saw it all for a moment. Everything out there. She was going to let me fly with her. She was inviting me. I was scared.
I'm going to go Northern too. Scared is good. Scared is rational. She wasn't human anymore.
Will we see her again?
I don't see how. No. You have to forget about that.
I don't see how I can.
I do. Come here, Bill.
What's up?
I just want to fix something.
Well, what are you doing?
No, don't worry. This won't hurt at all.
No, but tell me.
Nothing.
Yeah, because I think you're going to wipe my memory. I'm not stupid, you know. That's the trouble with you. You don't think anyone's ever seen a movie. I know what a mind wipe looks like.
I have no choice. I'm here for a reason. I am in disguise. I have promises to keep. No one can know about me.
Oh, this is the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me in my life. The only exciting thing.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, let me remember for just a week. Just a week? Okay, well, just for tonight. Just one night. Come on, let me have some good dreams for once. Okay, do what you've got to do. But just imagine how it would feel if someone did this to you.
Go and get out.
What?
You can keep your memories. Now get out before I change my mind. Don't speak. Don't start. Just run. Now, go.
I love that we just did Doctor Who, but it was Coronation Street.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked.
I mean, it really worked.
Yeah.
I feel like new spin.
The crossover no one expected.
Yeah, or needed, but, actually maybe they did.
Coronation Who? Let's make it happen.
Coronation Who.
I'm into it.
Look, it's going to catch on. It's going to be a thing.
It will. Watch this space. The
Coronation
2 new
Who.
stars. Thank you so much. It's
Thank
been
you.
brilliant. I've had a great time.
That was so fun.
Yay.
I want to do more of that. Coronation Who, let's do it.